if you spend a lot of time explaining yourself to other people, are reactive, and don't really feel great about yourself, or you just feel a little bit awkward when people see you happy and excited about the things that you love, or um, if you know what false humility is, so like, and I'm in this collective, um, so like false humility is the opposite of being prideful. Like it's the other side of pride. It is pride. And it can feel safer sometimes, um, because it's less threatening to other people when we, you know, aren't showing off our work, aren't showing off our bodies, heavy fucking emphasis on the safer though sometimes. Like there's a reason why we're in this pattern. But the thing I was channeling is that it's not always safer, because not only is it not safer for the people around you and for yourself, because without seeing and experiencing your gifts on a regular basis, you know, you and everyone else is missing out on that. But other people can see your gifts, and that's when they try to steal them, harvest your energy, play games with your mind. I was talking to a friend the other day about emotional abuse and how, what's it called? When people pick and pick and pick and pick, but they're like pretending to be nice, and then when the person like sets boundaries or gets upset or like has a mental breakdown, BPD baddies, NPD, we do this to each other. Yeah, when you make someone hurt, then flip the coin and be like, oh, you're crazy. You know what I mean? And some people will go to like entire communities, and there's just people all around the world right now that truly believe that they are their reactions. And this is the busiest road right now. And our reactions are real, and they really do have consequences. But I'm isolating that right now from, holy shit. I don't know if this is even making any sense right now, because I got bad ADD, and apparently this road in the middle of nowhere is now Nova Scotia's busiest highway. So I'm trying to keep my train of thought. The main point that I channeled and then pulled these cards here for, I'm just going to read them in a minute. The main point is that false humility isn't always safer, because if we are giving away our power, then who are we giving it to? So I pulled first right off the God card, which says recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. The shadow side is using power to control other people. And then I pulled the addict card. So that's all about not limited to drugs, alcohol, food, or sex. Helps you recognize when any external force has more authority over your willpower than your inner spirit does. Look for patterns of trying to overcome tendencies to need substances or people so intensely that you compromise relationships, finances, integrity, character, or emotional and psychological well-being of yourself and others. And that's why I don't really differentiate. Like, some people do use substances, but then you've got, we talked about this yesterday, um, big, corporate bosses. Well, you're using people, but it's just more beneficial, you know what I mean, to the structure of our society for you to harvest that way than it is for, anyways. And then I pulled the child card, which is all about, getting in touch with our wounded inner child. And that's where, that hungry ghost, as Dr. Gabor Mate calls it, comes from. That thing inside us that makes us want and want and want and want. Yeah, inner child holds memories of abuse, neglect, and other traumas, may also awaken a deep sense of compassion and desire to find a way to help other wounded children. And ourselves too, like, in The Artist Way, Julia Cameron talks about getting in touch with creativity as a connection to source and spirit. She does use the word God. And it's through giving that inner child opportunities to play and be silly and our inner teen opportunities to resist, that we are able to strengthen that connection. I mean, that connection is always there in the sense that, okay, no, for myself, even in my darkest moments, no matter what substances I had in my body, there was always that opportunity for me to reach out to a higher consciousness. And, but yeah, other people don't believe that. I don't really agree with, what's it called? Solipsism. So believing that other people are NPCs, or that some of us are higher valued than others. I remember I was younger, I was in this like teen rehab thing, and we used to get all kinds of punishments depending on like what attitudes. We were like marched around. Fly. Yeah, kind of in a little bit of a lockdown too. And then like if you were caught lying or something, then you could end up having to write out Bible verses so many times. You could also get your phone calls taken away, and like your visits once a month anyway, or like get extra months added on to the 18-month program. That's where I grew up. And one time I like drew this painting, and then I got this discipline, they were called, to write out about humility, because like God, it's like they didn't really care that I obviously already hated myself. It was like the one thing that I wanted to feel like I was good at something, and they were like basically saying like that's arrogance, and like give all the glory to God, which is, I mean, if you feel I just want to like there's a difference between giving glory to a God who lives outside of yourself, that's very hard to keep happy, that kind of like destroys people just when he gets on a certain mood, whose judgment is used to decide what actions you're allowed to take and the role that you're allowed to have. Yeah, there's a difference between giving glory to that kind of deity versus feeling like you are a god or a goddess and recognizing the divine in yourself. Yeah, this road is just... Oh, 1 second. Honey, 1 sec. Okay, even though a car is coming right now, I just want to say that... No, I can't even talk because I know that they're going to I just have 1 sec. I'm just going to wait. Not to like lay any stake or claim on this idea of harnessing your power. The only reason why I'm here trying to learn from other people is because myself and, my ancestors have made it a mission for people not to know. And I personally am tired of being a derelict. I'm in recovery, and I need to, I'm just trying to learn, and I like to learn with other people. So yeah, false humility. Spirit, is there anything else that I need to add, or did I make any sense? I would like to read some bell hooks. The Three of Pentacles. That is all about cooperation and coming together. Okay, despair and anguish, Nine of Swords. Yeah, that's something else I was thinking too, like, and not appreciating. It is really hard to look sometimes at relationships, family dynamics, behaviors, learning accountability, especially for those of us that have, CPTSD, have spent time on the streets, you know what I mean? Like, some of us are, some of us don't have all them social skills, but it gets to a point, when you're living with that, if you've ever been in a place where you've been just wanting to get out of here, I just don't, what I'm trying to say, like, you're just done. And that's going on for years and years and years and years. Like, that anguish of watching yourself not be able to regulate your emotions. Like, even if you are, like we were talking about narcissism the other day, how some of us hate ourselves and we think we're not a good person. Some of us think we're all that all the time, and it's never our fault. Some of us fluctuate back and forth. But even in that energy, like, I just had to start this part too, just to say really quick, even when we are feeling like, what's the point of trying to make changes? You know, we can't, we're overwhelmed, our nervous systems are flooded, we're in attack mode all the time. Even when we can't feel what we do to other people, our souls and our spirits do feel it. And in those moments, it can be hard to appreciate or see that there are people working together to build, you know, resilient communities. So it can be a little destructive if we just, you know, be putting everything and everyone and ourselves on blast and blowing stuff up everywhere around us. It's not very appreciative. It's not very respectful. Sometimes we can become more consumed with proving the people around us wrong than actually building. Or trying to prove them right. Because we're too scared for what they're going to say when they find out who we really are. But that deception can only last so long. Because what's said, that what is done in the dark will come to the light, what's done in the shadows. And as above, so below.